It's the FooRcast. I'm Gavin Ford.
I'm Aki.
I'm Double T.
What are we talking about this week?
Do pre-save campaigns work?
It's a great question, O-Dog. Great question, O-Dog. Do pre-save campaigns work? Well, again, we can only talk from our experience of what we've done before, and I'll be interested to know if people say the opposite, but I'm going to say no. I think you should do them because I think it's a good thing to let your fans know that you've got music coming. So go pre-save here, pre-save that. But I think if I'm going to do a bit of content and a fan sees it and they want to react to it, if they press pre-save, I just don't know what happens once you pre-save.
The theory is that that song then appears in your liked songs on Spotify come release day. But I know on release day, I'm not going to my liked songs to listen to new music. I'm going to somewhere like Release Radar or directly to an artist to find new music.
Also, though, if you want to hear a song, and it's difficult to get people to actually say, can you pre-save it before it comes out a month before? You know, like they want to hear it now, and it's like
people reacted. But that's what I was going to say. Do people go to their like songs on release day? Do you go, I'm going to see what I've like? I don't think I've ever looked at my like songs. Have you ever?
I listen to my like songs after I've listened to everything new or stuff that I've just been listening to on repeat. If I need something completely different.
But you put stuff in a playlist? Is that your?
Yeah, I'm OCD with my playlists.
Okay, so you just got your playlist that you go to.
Yeah.
And on Friday you go to Release Radar. That's where you find out about.
Yeah.
I might try New Music Friday if I've got more time, or try the bigger playlists to see what's come out. But yeah, Release Radar is my first point of call. If you pre-save, does it go into your Release Radar in future? I don't think it does.
I think it would go into your Release Radar if you're already following the artist. If it's just a one-off pre-save, I'm not sure if it would.
Yeah, so we've always encouraged artists previously to get people to follow on Spotify because you think a follow's going to stay.
Because then you're not just hitting your Release Radar, you're hitting your AI playlist, your radios, your like autoplay stuff as well.
Also, with every pre-save thing, it's not a Spotify built thing. It's not a Spotify creation. It's like this company's doing a pre-save thing, this company for your distributor through this. So like if Spotify want you to do it and are so receptive to it, why don't they do a thing where they can pre-save through it themselves? Why does Spotify not create a pre-save?
Yeah, they don't push you anything until the moment it's out, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if they're not doing it, if they're not telling you to do it, where's this thing come from that, oh yeah, this is going to generate things for playlists? We've done like probably 10 campaigns where we've spent thousands on pre-save campaigns. We've done it with like artists like Tyrone with huge social media following. So we've had thousands of people pre-save, seen it, and had absolutely no difference whatsoever. No jump on release day, nothing extraordinary on the release day, no playlist, no nothing. Like, and we've done things from giving away electric scooters when they were all the rage. Like
PS5, didn't we? As well?
PS5, we've done it like we've spent loads of different money, loads of different competitions, and now like our last song with Tyrone which was on Relentless, which is a major label. Obviously, Tyrone's got his streaming audience, so like I can't remember the exact number, but it was when he sent through, this many people were pre-saved it. The label sent through this many people were pre-saved it. I thought, oh, here we go. This is it.
Yeah,
nothing. Absolutely.
So does pre-save you get you in some sort of chart before it comes out?
No, but I think part of it as well, when I was at uni, got given a big manual of like how to release music, and it's like it tells you a 6-week plan, and they're
still
saying,
got that?
Yeah.
Oh, let's bring that in. Look at that.
And it's one of the first steps, like 6 weeks or 4 weeks before your release, is start your pre-save campaign. If I pre-save a track a month ago, by the time it comes out 4 weeks later, I'm not going to be aware that that's even dropped if I'm not opening Spotify and it's there in my face.
Yeah, because you completely forget like what happens because you're flicking through. Like I think if you had a bit of content and it took off and it had 1 million views and it was for a song that isn't out yet, you'd be devastated because you can't get the people to. To be honest, it'd be great that you had a bit of content that's done 1 million. You wouldn't be that devastated. But if the song was out and you had it and people go, oh, what is this song? And they went and they found it. If they said, what is this song? And they went and looked, it doesn't exist. They go, oh, there's a thing to pre-save it. Are you going to are you going to go, oh, I'll listen to that in a week, but are you going to remember that in a week? You got to get people to come back. I think I've always thought I'd rather have the content out. Once it's out and then people can go,
I was going to say, it's better to engage with people once it's out because they can go straight away and listen to it.
Yeah.
Like, rather than saying...
In that instance, if a song came up, say, on TikTok, and I wanted to know what it was, and they said, oh, it's not out yet, but you can pre-save it now, I'd be more inclined to go, I'll just remember that it's coming out in 2 weeks and inevitably forget about it, then go through and have to click on a link, log in through Spotify. I'll have to change my password because I've forgotten that.
Yeah, the pre-save, the process is long as well, isn't it? It's not like easy.
Exactly.
You're doing this thing, but no one likes it. You go through this thing and say you never forget you never remember the password to get into it. You do it, and then also on the release day, I can think of things I've pre-saved and I don't go to it on the unless I see someone promoting it's out now and I go, oh, I remember that. I've never seen a thing that goes, remember you pre-saved this. It's not like a big thing that goes, listen, everyone, pay attention. You pre-saved these songs. They're out today. You can listen to them now.
Yeah, I think maybe it's a kind of like a old school mentality because pre-ordering used to be a big thing. And if you've like spent money on something, you want to see that thing you spent money on, so you'd be more aware of it by the time it comes out.
I think major labels use it as an indication of how popular and it's going to be, how much money to spend it on early doors. I don't think it must do something at Spotify if you get enough. But I say, why don't Spotify do it themselves if it's a thing? Why is it? But I think my thing is, if you should do pre-save campaigns, as long as you don't spend any money on them.
Yeah, no, there's no point in putting money onto it. But just on the Spotify thing, perhaps Spotify can see on release day how many people have saved the song or liked the song.
Well, yeah, Spotify works on a score. So there's a website, and I apologise, I can't remember what it's called, but I will find out, and we'll put it in the description. But you can see the score of your song, and I believe when your score is over 80 or 84, something around that number, then that's when it's going to go into Discover mode. And a Spotify score is done by how long people listen to the song, how many people share the song, save the song, add it to a playlist, and they got to listen to it. When I say how long they listen to it, it's got to be like over 80% of the songs got to be listened to. If people are switching off real early, it's going to put your score down. So you'd imagine that pre-saving adds to the score early doors when you get it in. That's what I assume the thing is doing. And then obviously once your score gets up to a point, the quicker you get your score up, the quicker people will go into radio mode and Discover mode, and people will discover it. So I assume that pre-saving is meant to be a thing that speeds up that process. But all I'm saying is I've never seen it work.
I've never pre-saved any. Do you get a notification?
No.
So you don't even, like,
Look,
so.
It's did you say earlier that it's not a Spotify thing? It's not a Spotify pre-save. It's a pre-save by Hyped It or Believe or whoever.
Well, yeah, if you go Spotify for artists, there's never a thing they can do. Create a canvas, marquee campaign, all these different things, but it's never here's your pre-save link, create a pre-save link. You can pitch it in advance. They do all this stuff, but they don't say, if it was their thing and it was so popular and so essential, why is it not set up by Spotify? That's the main point here, isn't it? Like, it's set up by other companies that are telling you to do something that Spotify isn't even encouraging itself. But I say, I think you should do it because it makes fans aware that something's coming. Because you say, pre-save this, pre-save that. And a fan might not even go and do it, but they go, oh, that song's coming out. Like when I see...
It could be a reminder, isn't it, that song's coming out.
Yeah, like, you know, that Virgin and Interplanetary Criminal single's coming because they're thinking it's coming out now. So pre-save it now, even if you're not pushing it, but just don't... I saw a comment, what triggered this conversation, is I saw a comment where someone said, if you're not using Hyped It, running paid ads on your Spotify pre-saves, what are you doing? And I just commented, I'm not much of a typer. I wouldn't spend money on Spotify pre-save campaigns. And he said, why? And then had some of this conversation, but as I say, I'm not a typer, so this is going into detail. Like, if you're going to spend money on ads and you spend this money on stuff that pre-saves, which we yet to see proof of working, you should be spending money once the song's out, because people can go, they can hear the song, they can either like the song, and then they can save the song, listen to it all the way through, do the stuff that affects the score. When you go to a pre-save, you're pre-saving it, and as I say, none of us know. And as I say, please let us know if anyone's had success thing. But again, I would have to say someone's got to let us know that they've done it sort of 3 times. They've done a pre-save campaign and it's worked. Because if you've done it once, I'd assume that like the song was just popular and the playlisters took it and this took it. I wouldn't say that was evidence that pre-saves work.
The one time I can think that the pre-saves may have worked for us is when we did Ellie Evans' Breakfast on the Roof. But the reason that may have worked is because we did a whole email campaign, and on the day, everyone who had pre-saved it then got an email saying, this song is out now, go listen to it.
Notifications is probably important.
For that, we used the company
OpenStage.
Yeah. If you pre-saved it, it kept their data, and then you could contact them. But also, you could save the information of everyone that pre-saved, and when your next song come out, everyone who pre-saved the first song, it sent likes to the new song. So you're stacking it for the thing.
I remember we used to pre-buy stuff on Apple, I used to get a notification at midnight saying this track is now in
Yeah.
your library.
That's what they should do.
That's what they should do.
But that's if
Again,
Spotify.
that's an Apple thing, isn't it? If you buy
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
on Apple,
Like,
Apple will tell you that
And
the
it-
thing you bought
yeah.
on Apple is.
And if Spotify were pushing it and Spotify were doing it themselves, then that's what Spotify would do,
So
isn't
if
it?
it was majorly important to them, they would make sure you were notified.
So yeah, I don't think it's important. But I think you should do it, but just don't spend any money on it. If you're going to do ads,
Yeah, the counterpoint with that Ellie Evans thing is if you just collected, so for our lot, we have our mailing lists. If we just collected everyone's emails anyway and then emailed them on release day, this song's out now, would you get any more, any less people going to listen to it? You probably get the same amount of people who could be bothered to click through their emails to find the song.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think the bottom line is you've got to do absolutely everything to get people to pay attention. And there's like a marketing rule where you got to see something 3 times before you pay attention to it. And doing a pre-save thing in advance might be one of those 3 times. So if you see a pre-save thing out now and another bit of content, follow-up content, or I've just started this song, pre-save thing, and they go, oh yeah, that song, or playing it in a club or whatever, then that might be the thing that sees it. But I say these people were talking about spending money on pre-save campaigns, and I wouldn't spend money on something that, I mean, I'm happy to be proved wrong, but we've done, I say, different types of music. We've done it with major labels, we've done it ourselves, we've done it with dance records, pop records, so the Ellie Evans records, Tyrone Warbs records, which are like drill and whatnot. So different styles, different people, different audiences, different things, different ways of delivering, and not one of it's ever worked.
But do you think, just to play devil's advocate, do you think because there's such a high turnover of dance music every week, and maybe there's not as much like pop stuff from specific artists, that people might be more engaged with a pre-save campaign then?
I think there's more pop music than there is dance music.
Yeah, but
I see what you're saying. I think the main point of this is if you're going to put money and effort into something, it should be something that we know is a real thing, that someone going and streaming a song, or going and buying a song, even pre-ordering is a thing. Like, that's a thing. We know, that, you can see that, you can physically value it. If you put money into ads, you can even work out how much you're spending per stream. You can do that. You can put loads of money into pre-saves and it can be absolutely nothing. And if you're an artist and especially a new artist, and you've got limited money, where to put money, like, you just shouldn't put the money there. Because there's we say there's no evidence that it works. Spotify don't encourage it. Spotify do marquee campaigns, which we've never tried, and maybe we should try one and then do a thing to see to people whether it works or whether it's a good thing to spend money on.
is that the one where it flashes up when you open Spotify and it says new release from FooR?
I think so. I don't know. I've never done it, but maybe we should do that to see if that's a trial, because that's
John's tried that for his album.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, he has actually. We could look at whether that's, but we need to try it ourselves to see if it works, because we can only talk from our own experiences and what we've done, and we've done several opportunities where we've never done it. So I would put money in this game where people are like, oh, should I get a PR company? Should I get a radio plugger? Should I get this? Which, again, things we can go into if people want to hear about them, because we've tried absolutely everything. I just wouldn't put money there. Like, put it into ads, but once your song's out, if you're going to put money into, don't put it into pre-save camp. And say hyped it. What the guy said is hyped it as a great tool for pushing pre-saves, which it has. But he's saying if you're not putting money into it, you're mental. You're actually mental if you are putting money into it.
Yeah.
You should be hyped it as a great tool to push people to Spotify, and you should put money into it, but not on songs that aren't there and don't exist. Like, if your song's out, your song's got momentum, your song's doing well, put money into that's happening, rather than something that say Spotify doesn't even encourage itself. But I think we'll do that. We'll try that marquee thing, and then we'll do a podcast showing the results, and then see if that's something worth doing. Because I don't know if anyone's done the marquee thing. Please put in the comments and say what their experience is with it. But that is a Spotify tool that Spotify want people to use. Yeah. So I'd be more inclined to use that than something that is set up by a third party company.
Yeah, definitely.
For something that none of us, as free artists and just people who listen and enjoy music, have never seen any benefit of. And also, if you are just a listener to music, and you pre-save and it works as part of your routine of how you get music, then let us know. Like, as I say, we're
happy to be proven wrong. It's just from our experience.
Yeah, we can only talk.
Benefits.
Yeah, we can only talk from our experience, and we just don't ever go, oh yeah, what's in my pre-save section? There isn't even a pre-save section to check.
Yeah, there's no pre-save chart or anything, is there?
There's nothing.
No.
If there's a pre-save chart, then you'd hammer it, wouldn't you? Because it's thing like.
I don't know if Hyped has something like that.
Spotify doesn't.
Spotify definitely doesn't.
No.
If it's a Hyped thing only, but I don't know if that's something people are using.
Yeah. I think it'll be a great thing if it was a thing, but we don't know. Is it? We've never seen evidence to suggest that it is.
Sell this idea to Spotify.
Spotify, if you're listening, yeah, that's thing because people are prepared to spend money on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it covers that situation.
But yeah, as I say, if you've had different experiences, let us know. If you're a listener and you experience Spotify different, then please let us know.
I think also pointing out that if you're thinking, well, if I'm not pushing a pre-save campaign, when should I be pushing music? We've done episodes on how you should promote your music after it's come out as well. So go and check those ones out.
Yeah, I mean, I always think if you are going to do the pre-save thing, I always do it so it's like next Friday, this Friday, like you can sort of see the date. If you were like saying a date 6 weeks time, just say no one's going to go, oh yeah, I'm going to remember that, or let me put that in my diary, or let me do that. Like,
also, we live in a world where people want things. Right
yeah,
away.
they scroll in and
they don't want to wait 4 weeks. So
yeah, that'll be our advice. But again, if we want us to cover that more, let us know. Anything else you want us to cover, let us know. Any questions, any of that, let us know. Voila.